Surprise, surprise, motherfuckers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Keyboard Warriors on CagesidePress.com. I'm Eddie Lost, Fred Kirby, live to you from Las Vegas and Ohio, respectively. I'm out here covering UFC Vegas 67, Strickland versus Imavov. I keep saying Imavov, but it's like Imavov. You know, Brendan Fitzgerald, the Fight Night John Anik.
Yeah.
He studies this shit. And so he said all the names right. I'm sitting here. My dumb ass has the camera and shit. I'm like recording and stuff. And he's all saying like the words all correctly. And every time, and I didn't realize how many fucking complicated ass names are on this card, because every time he would say something, I'm like, shit, I got to write down how to fucking pronounce and shit. Instead, I got so fucking tired of running back and forth. I just recorded all of them. And I clipped the highlight for the weigh-ins. I've been listening to that shit over and over again, trying to learn how to say it. And I still fucked it up. So I didn't even care.
Hey, say, man, Fitzgerald gets paid to do this, though, Jack. He gets paid handsomely to remember those names. Yeah. We'll do the best we can. We'll try not to be disrespectful, but until somebody puts that check, Jack, I ain't sitting around and studying fucking Polish names and Russian names. Some of these names are completely fucked.
They're crazy. Some dude, fucking Santiago, what's going on, brother? Mondanko. It doesn't sound like Mondanko. It's like Modanshe. I don't even know. Fucking whatever. Anyway.
Hey, say, hold on, man. Hold on, wait. Sorry to cut you off. I just want to, take a minute here, just to give you your flowers, man. We don't got a whole lot to talk about. We ain't breaking down no fights and giving y'all no in-depth preview. So it ain't a whole lot of drama going on. So when you just now said you and what the fuck, man? What event is this for you? Actually being like at the event, covering it like a real motherfucking journalists or whatever the fuck you heathen cocksuckers would call yourselves.
Shit, between UFCs, PFLs, and Bellator. I don't know, dude. I'm in the 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe.
Hey, 30s. Listen, I just want to take a minute to give you your flag. God forbid something was to happen to you or any other cocksucker.
I don't do that right now.
I want to take a fucking minute to give you your flowers. Listen, man, we've been doing this podcast for a long time. Mm-hmm. Most of the cats that are watching this right now probably, almost assuredly, were not around when we started doing podcasting together with the cocksucker named the Vanilla Gorilla. Rich Davies was his name.
Rich Davies, dude.
Shout out to Rich Davies. I don't even know if hey, listen, that was so long ago, that motherfucker might not even be alive. We called him the Vanilla Gorilla because he had a picture of a fucking white gorilla. I don't know what that motherfucker looks like. He still is a question mark, Jack. I ain't never seen him in real life. But that was years ago, man, when we started doing that podcast and talking shit about MMA. And it's cool to see that you're actually at the events now, covering these shits live. Owner and proprietor of a fucking well-doing website. Like, shout out to Eddie, man, for really fucking coming a long way. Hey, listen, man, we started this on some bullshit, a little Twitter leak, a little dumb podcast, man, and now you actually covering the events live. There's something to be said for that, man. Like, congratulations, bro. Real talk.
I appreciate you, bro. I love you for that, man. I appreciate it.
Sure.
It's been a long, long way here. I don't know, but I don't know if we could put it on the screen, but hold up. Santiago brings up something I completely forgot, and I meant to send it to you, but I'm sure you saw it. You see that video of Cyril Gahn impersonating Nate Diaz?
No, I didn't see that, actually.
I'm going to find this shit while we're going.
Is it good?
It's fucking good. Let me see. So he's at the Apex, apparently. I didn't know he was here. And he fucking walked. He got like a beanie, put it like perfectly and shit. Was walking around like fuck. I had to find it. Oh, I'll find out what we talk about some shit. But it's a fucking good video. It's pretty fucking good. What else we got? Let's talk something that happened on Wednesday, Media Day. Media Day, for those that don't know, is usually on a Wednesday, and it's the fighters that come in. Usually the main eventers will come in for their fight night, and for a pay-per-view, just like the main card guys do it. And for a pay-per-view, it's main cards and whatever other notables are there. So fight night, all we got was main card people. So come in and started. It kicked off at 12 o'clock. So we're expecting Roman Kopylov, right? Who's fighting Punahele Sorgano tomorrow. And instead walks in Dana White, and he's Hunter Campbell's right behind him. And so they walk in. By the way, Hunter Campbell in person, like, it's not even a diss. He looks like a walking cartoon. It's really weird. Like, he just doesn't look human, like a normal person. I don't know. I have to explain it to you later, but it's fucking weird. But anyway, Dana White comes in, sits down, and basically gives us a statement again for the whole slap video thing. Now, but the new thing that happened here, and you tell me what you think, because everybody, seems like everybody, but a lot of people like popped off, all pissed off. Dana White basically said that there's no point in punishing him for two things. One, because the shame of it is enough is enough punishment for him. He has to live with this for the rest of his life and be known as the guy that slaps women. And two, he said that him missing time from the UFC is not going to hurt him. All it does hurt the UFC. Do you agree with any of that? And do you think, like, what do you think of it? Because it's like, to me, when he said it, I was like, I know what the response is going to be for this, but I kind of get what he's saying.
Well, okay, so listen, as far as his shame being a rightful punishment, that's up for debate. We all don't get to just be like, hey, say, Jack, I cheated on my bitch. I'm ashamed of that. So that hoe don't get to leave me now. Like, yeah, you know, your shame isn't payment enough as far as society goes in general, or it shouldn't be, at least. A lot of us are shameful for what we've done, but that nobody gives a fuck. You still got to pay your debt to society. Fuck your shame. Now, the other part of that, though, I do sort of get his point. Listen, would the UFC just fucking crumble and ride off a cliff if Dana White was suspended for 3 to 6 months? No. You know, would it still be able to go on without Dana? Sure. Surely they've been sort of putting that in motion for the last God knows how many years. That being said, you have to keep it a bean in saying that Dana White's an integral part of the UFC machine at this point. At the very least, it would make everybody else's job harder. Hunter Campbell, all those pricks. And also being fair, Dana said, if you fucking suspend me, it's not going to hurt me. It's just going to hurt the fighters in the UFC. Show me the lie. Show me that. Dana White has more money than God. Y'all gonna give him a vacay? What you think? You think if y'all flex y'all's muscles, say, hey, Dana, fuck that. Go take 120 days on your yacht. You think Dana's really gonna go have a fucking panic attack? A nervous breakdown?
Yeah.
He might be a little bummed out because I think Dana actually loves this shit. But a couple days later, he'll be on his yacht. He'll be fucking smacking his wife again. He'll have some little Puerto Rican broad licking his tank. And what real talk, it will the fighters be all right without him? Sure. Again, will it make everybody's job probably a little more difficult with him not being there doing what he needs to do? Yeah. Like, again, man, the people out there that say you need to set a precedent, I get that. But also, people are like, well, listen, this is just, I mean, you know, what's this going to mean for the fighters? Man, that shit sort of bugs me. Hey, yo, man, if you see your motherfucking mom or dad doing something, now, don't get me wrong, I'm about to make a wild comparison because I get that, like, if you see your mom and dad, that does lead you to do it. But, like, I guess let me not make no wild comparisons. Fuck what you think. The fuck? If you're a fighter and you're in the UFC, the rules still apply. You fucking smack your girlfriend, you're out of here. Well, but Dana, I don't give a fuck. Life ain't fair. I don't care what Dana did. He ain't you. He's worth $3 billion. You're a fucking fighter on the prelims. Is your first name Conor or your last name Diaz? First name Nate? Nope. You don't get to hit people. Off you go. Is that fair? Fuck no. Is that fucking life and the way that the elites run this world? You bet your sweet tits. Again, let me also keep it a beam here. If fucking Dana had grabbed his wife by the hair and went whop, whop, and fucking broke her nose and sprayed blood all over everybody, I'm not trying to make any excuses for dude in that regard, but the shit would be different. He ain't fucking going to jail. He's not getting charges pressed on him. His old lady, again, I seen Ariel like, well, people are saying that they let it go, so you should let it go. That's not the point. Kinda is the point. Like, if the police ain't doing nothing about it, his wife for fucking 40 years ain't doing nothing about it or put out a statement saying that it's all good. Again, you can make the argument that Dana made her do that or whatever. Motherfucker, you don't know that. All we know is that she put out a statement saying this is very much unlike him. We all good. Can y'all give us our privacy? Police ain't doing nothing about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I really don't know what motherfuckers expect. And again, what you want to suspend him for 3 months to the detriment of who?
Right. No, and You're right. And look, that's what I'm saying. Like when he said all that stuff, like I understood. I was like, I get what he's saying. He's not going to do it now. We've gotten to the point where because there has been and there's not going to be more than likely any kind of consequence for Dana White. We're at the point where people are pushing it right now. The thing that happened between him and Ariel, it got personal because Dana White made it personal. He started that shit. We got to be honest about that. But Ariel never fired back until recently. And not only that, now he's going pedal to the metal, basically saying like, "What do you mean the UFC would hurt without you?" And Ariel said, "I make the argument that it'd be better without you." And I'm just like, huh?
And I mean, you know, look, Ariel's got a big platform, but so what? You could, at the end of the day, Ariel, you could think that all you want. All your little minions can think that, and guess who gives a fuck? Nobody. Yeah. I'm still DW. I still got my contract. I'm still cool with the dude that bought this bitch for $4 billion. We all still like. I mean, it just is what it is, man. Mm. Dana White is not above the law. Nobody is.
Right.
But the reality is he didn't fuck up that bad. And again, I can just boy, I wish we had more viewers sometimes so people could be they be canceling me like a motherfucker. Right. I'm not saying that you could smack your wife just a little bit, or if you smack that hoe at 15%, it don't count. All I'm saying is if you smack that hoe at 15% and you punch her with a closed fist at 40, them shits is different. If you cut that hoe with a knife or throw her off a balcony, that shit's different. He wouldn't get away with something like that. But but this wasn't that. And again, like for everybody, like, but there should be punishment. Motherfucker, what? I tell you, you know what I haven't heard? I haven't heard one good idea about what we should do to him. Like I haven't. And if nobody's got one of those, yeah, Ariel, I get it. Shut the fuck up, bro. It's this what you wanted it to be the one, but it wasn't there. If you like, I got this for the first time, well, then it won't be the last either. Let him hit that hoe again in public. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like you tried. It ain't, I don't know what even Ariel, I have yet to hear him give like a good response. Like again, like put Dana out for 6 months. So what? It ain't gonna stop his bank account. The UFC will be fine, whether it's worse or better. Who cares? It'll just be the UFC on ESPN or Fox, wherever the fuck it's at now, for fuck's sakes. Like it ain't gonna really matter.
And here's the thing, too. It's like this. Okay, the same point you just made right now. Every time anyone talks to me about it in person, on Twitter, wherever, like, oh, Dana White should be punished. Yeah, but first I was like, okay, cool. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Yeah, like outside of putting him in jail, what are you gonna do that's gonna hurt him?
And that's not gonna happen. That's not on the table, right? I don't think so. Like,
no. So here's funny enough. Someone actually had to fucking call Mexico to figure this out, and I probably should have put this out there earlier. But in Mexico, privacy is taken so seriously that you won't even find out whether someone got charges pressed against them or not. So, in Mexico, like the burden of proof is on the victim, right? Like they got to prove, the victim has to prove or has to bring proof and evidence and all that something happened. Well, the victim apparently ain't called the cops that night. So ain't gonna be no legal shit.
No, man. She wasn't, again, like, it is what it is, man. Everybody's gonna have their own personal opinion. I know this is a hot button issue. I know a lot of people are of the fucking school of thought that you don't ever put your hands on a woman under no circumstance. And I agree. Look, man, I agree with that. I dig what you're saying. But I guess I'm just trying to allow a little credence for, hey, man, they've been married for 40 years. Mm-hmm. They've got grown kids. It's New Year's Eve. They're both admittedly drunk. And homeboy's a fucking megalomaniac, fucking multi-billionaire or whatever the fuck he is. You know what I mean? And then, again, not saying it's okay to hit a bitch because she hits you first. But the bitch did hit him first way harder.
And I get that. And honestly, I know what you're saying. But like even Dana White said himself, he goes, no, there's not, because the one things that they asked him was, basically, have you seen that people are kind of blaming your wife, saying like she started it, right? And he goes, there ain't two sides to this. There's one side, mine. He took full ownership.
And listen, I respect that, but I don't give a fuck. I'm a grown-ass man who can look at that situation and it's sort of I respect that he's taking all the onus, but the reality is his wife smacked the shit out of him first. Again, that does not give, I mean, look, you try it. They'll put your ass in jail. Does not give you the right to hit her. But it is a detail to the situation that should be thrown out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think context is important. We
Sure.
can't have the context that Dana got caught beating the fuck out of his old lady for no reason while she's like, stop, Dana, please. And he's just like, bitch, I said shut up. Like, it wasn't that. Them hoes were hitting each other. This was some Ike and Tina shit. Like, and they've been together for 4 years. And that hoe put out a statement the next day saying, yo, we were drunk, we were tripping. Can y'all mind y'all's business? Yo, man, give that. If you're so worried about his fucking wife, how about y'all listen to that hoe? What a novel idea. Again, you could be like, but she didn't mean to write that. And then, man, I don't know. I don't know what she meant to write. All I know is that she had a statement put out publicly saying, we all good. Mind your business. Leave us alone so we can be good with our kids. That shit was uncare. Again, you could be like, I don't care. I don't believe that. That's fine. But this is the victim telling y'all that was rare. It don't happen. We all good. Mind your business. I mean, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, we still like, yeah, that's all good, but we want him to suffer. Like, yo, shut the fuck up, Ariel. Do your show. You tried. It's all good, though. 2-3 weeks later, it ain't going to happen. Ain't not going to happen to homeboy. Fuck off.
I'm wondering how long it's going to take to, quote unquote, blow over. Because that's what they're waiting for it to just blow over, right?
Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you right now. You want to know how long it's going to take to blow over? This podcast. Because they about to motherfucking, I'm sure we're going to get to it, but they about to crucify James Krause.
Oh, it's over.
They about to put
it's over.
If DW got any sort of good legal team or any sort of good representation or whatever the fuck, they gonna be like, yeah, hey, James Krause. That was a wild night we had in Mexico, but let's talk about this James Krause character. We've heard some wild shit about him. How about y'all all just worry about that right there now? That's a wild story.
Oh, we'll get to that here in a second too. But just to wrap up the whole Dana White thing, Oh, real quick. Oh, geez. Okay, Santiago goes, I don't approve hitting women, but in this area of equality, isn't she the aggressor? I mean, that's one viewpoint. And it just says, hey, what's up, SJ? He says, people get too fixated on other people's business.
See, and listen, let me be very clear. I'm not saying because she started it, he was right to strike her back. All I'm saying is context is important. And I've seen people being like, Dana White stumps and beats and stomps his wife and shit. And it's like, hey, yo, I've seen the video. It wasn't quite that. If we're gonna call a spade, let's call a spade. It looked like a old drunk couple had too much to drink and they started throwing each other a little smack. I mean, let's be fair about it. I don't think nobody had a black eye. There was no blood. It looks like two old birds had way too much to drink. That hoe said, motherfucker, you know what? Let me tell you. Here's a better question that I've heard nobody ask because everybody's so goddamn up in arms about Dana hitting a woman, which I fucking get. But here's a question. Here's a question for everybody in the fucking chat and everybody that hears this. And I know that nobody gives a fuck because we're all so fucking up in arms. But why do you think she smacked him? What happened? Again, for all you social justice pricks, I ain't saying it matters. I'm just morbidly curious because I'll tell you what. I'll invite something. I'll tell you why I think she fucking smacked him, because I almost bet my left fucking testicle that Dana White has his fucking prick in anything with a pulse around the UFC. I guarantee you he's got 3 fucking Russian mail order brides. He's fucking broads in Brazil. I guarantee you DW got caught with his old fucking TRT prick and some fucking little young piece of pussy. Shit. They were up there getting mouthy about it, and she said, you know what? Fine, fuck it. Take one of those, Jack. Keep fucking that little Brazilian hoe. Wop. And then damn, this bitch just hit me. Somebody probably filming. What the fuck? And then he looked like when he went to hit her, he looked like he thought, bitch. And then right as he got about halfway through, he was like, oh shit.
I fucked up.
I
fucked up.
Fuck, this is crazy. Bitch got about to hit her in public. Woo.
Yeah.
Wild night, man. Wild fucking night. I think she smacked him because she caught him cheating for the fucking 10 billionth time. And let me explain to you how this ends, little kiddies. When you're worth $3 billion and you put a hole in a fucking marble house with gold toilets, whatever the fuck else they got in there, you get to fuck whoever you want. Yes, she will get boozed up and throw you a smack in public every once in a while. You throw about $100 million at the problem. You get her a few new Birkin bags. Maybe even buy her that apartment in Rome she always wants. She goes out there and fucks the Italian stallion. What you do is keep your fucking life happy. You keep your house. You keep your fucking wife. What you gonna do? Divorce him? She's 108 years old. She ain't gonna do shit but take that smack and keep it moving. People are fucking dealing with a lot worse for a lot less. You understand me? She'll be all right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That shit it's just funny. Like if he wasn't famous, no one would be talking about this shit.
It wouldn't even be that big of a deal. Again, like to be fair, in a world where dudes fucking punch their old ladies all the time, and again, let me make it clear, I'm not fucking trying to make it all right for dude, but like there's some wild shit that happens out there. This was low key mild. It's because of who he is that we're overreacting so much to it. Like it wasn't that big of a fucking deal, to be fair.
Exactly, it's because of who he is, right? So, and again, like people throwing gas on the flames because Dana White's a guy that gets fucking heated at other people. I mean, he went on with that on the podcast with Patty going at Ariel. So of course Ariel's going pedal to the metal on that shit. He goes on against the media constantly. He goes on against liberals and all this shit. So they would just wait for him to fuck up, and then it happened. So that's the reason why it's so fucking loud right now. But I guess we'll see what happens here. Santiago says, if my wife hit me in public, I don't know how I would respond. 9 years married.
Listen, that's you know what? That's not important. Fuck being in public. Tell me how you respond in private, baby. I'll tell you, if we're getting fucking drunk and you throw me a smack, I don't know exactly what happens. Maybe you get treated real fucking equally. Maybe more than likely, I'd probably grab your fucking arm and be like, yo, what the fuck? You out of your fucking mind? Now, if you keep trying to beat me, I'd have to subdue you. Maybe that requires a smack. Maybe that requires a little bit of a hip toss. You pick. Man. You want me to fucking judo toss you into this fridge? Or you want me to fucking make your bell ring? Stop hitting me.
I remember in college, I was at a party. This drunk ass girl got mad at me about some bullshit. I don't remember. And she started swinging at me and shit. Mind you, I wasn't drunk, so I was dodging that shit like fucking like fucking Sugar Ray Leonard. But at the same time, like the only reason I was doing that because I knew I couldn't hit her. I'm like, there's no way I can hit her back. If I hit her the second I even start swinging, I'm the bad guy. Right now, she looks like a dumb fucking bitch right now, right? But if I swing at all, I look bad.
And yeah, and listen, I talk a lot of shit. Don't get me wrong. If it's a little broad, like my bitch is like 5'1", 5'2". That little bitch can get as mad as she wants. I would never smack her, like hit her in the face. But if the little bitch got real crazy, she would get fucking hip tossed. She would get, I'm not going to let her beat my face in. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to subdue her somehow. And yeah, like if it's a little broad, I'm going to just subdue you, especially if it's easy peasy. But, again, depends on what we're talking about here. Fucking Ronda Rousey, 19-year-old rowdy Ronda gets a few drinks in her and decides to grab me and throw me through the fucking wall. I'm protecting myself so as I don't get killed. I mean, not every woman out there is just a little fucking delicate daisy that, it's okay if she fucking, and again, we're getting into the fucking weeds here.
Yeah, we're getting deep.
Let me fucking be clear. It's not okay to hit women. Okay. I still think this is a little exaggerated. I understand, though. To your point, DW has been giving it to everybody for years. If you make a tiny mistake like that, they're fucking waiting to hammer your nuts to the wall. So all this thing, you know what? I'm not surprised by any of this. I'm not surprised Dana White did it. I'm not surprised he got away with it. I'm not surprised Ariel and them won't shut the fuck up about it. Like, to be fair, none of this is actually surprising. New Year's Eve, Dana White went wild, and now everybody in the news sources, fucking, the MMA media is going crazy. It's another Monday.
Yeah, pretty much, and they will. It'll blow over sooner than later. So Dale says, I probably wouldn't respond either in private. Oh, Brando, what's up?
There he is.
Oh, Nick says, Fred makes a point. LOL. Now, Nick, you're a young one. Don't fucking be smacking anybody, dog. Right?
Yeah. You don't be hitting them. It's not in public, for fuck's sakes. Like I said, we're in private. Hey, say, Jack, you hit people.
Oh man, I'm lucky I never been in that shit. But anyway, all right. Moving on. I actually found the video of Mr. Cyril Gahn. It's fucking spot on. Here it is. Let's see if I can pull it out. Ready? So that's him right there standing. Was perfectly done. Here we go. There's a sound, but it won't go through the computer. But he does it perfectly. And look at him walk. Dude, it's spot on, Nate.
It is. I'm just having a problem. He's huge. I can't.
He's big ass motherfucker.
He's too big. I can't. He does. The Nate impression is okay, but his sheer stature and size just throws me off so much. It's like, good Lord Almighty. Those big ham cans now scare the shit out of me. Son, that motherfucker's like that's why Smith & Wesson created pistols. You gotta, what you gonna do with a big old motherfucker like that? God forbid you was born at 5'8", 5'9". You had to shoot a motherfucker like that. Look at them big ass hands.
You got hit him with a fucking car, dude. Fucking speaking of Cyril Gahn, he fucking called out John Jones, talking about, hey, how about John Jones in March? They don't make friends in
Yeah. If I don't know what the fuck's going on with Francis at this point, but yeah, if they can't do it, I ain't particularly mad at that fight. For some reason, that fight doesn't seem that sexy to me, but I'll take it.
What, Gahn Jones?
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, you think I would be a lot more excited for that, but for some reason, that doesn't really do too much for me. But I don't know. Beggars can't be choosers. I'll take it happily.
I'm at the point if Francis ain't gonna fight, you make an interim belt. This dude and John Jones, fuck it.
Yeah. Fair enough. I ain't mad at
that. But either way, like, it's spot on. And I wish I could play the audio, but it won't come through the computer. And he fucking has these like, man, fuck you, or something like that. It's funny as shit. Anyway, all right, moving on. Speaking of crazy this shit that just makes the MMA world go insane. James Krause, they're still investigating him. Now, just to be clear, he's not part of Glory MMA anymore. He's not coaching anybody anymore because anybody that coaches under him or that's coached by him is not allowed to fight in the UFC. However, turns out he had been working as an agent for an offshore, like it says with their sports book, right? I think it was actually, let's just scroll down the fucking article. It's called something AG, whatever. ABCbetting.ag, right? And he was working with them. Now, we know the ins and outs of this whole thing at this point. We've been talking about it forever, but the fact that he was working with an offshore betting site, as an agent for him, it kind of multiplies like how bad this is. And then on top of that, I don't know if you've seen the Jeff Molina shit. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think so.
Jeff Molina he was supposed to fight tomorrow, and he got pulled. And it turns out it's in connection to this. That dude had been telling people that to sign up for James Krause betting service because Jeff Molina said he had paid his mortgage and his car note with those wins. And so now Jeff is looking really fucking bad. Like, he's probably not coming back to the UFC. Like, there's no way you could bring him back to the UFC, but I don't think. But that this whole thing's fucking nuts. And it's messy shit, man.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yeah, dude, listen, this wasn't good before. Yep. Now, that is your ass, Mr. Postman. Woo, that's your ass. James Krause is about to catch a thunder fucking, like, I almost feel bad for him. Almost. I don't feel bad for him because, god damn, if he didn't bring this shit on himself. Looking back at the fucking interview he did with the Nose back in the summer, where he was sort of blatantly bragging.
What a fuck up.
At the time, I wasn't really aware of the severity of it. And I ain't a goddamn FBI agent. I don't really fucking pay attention to this shit like this. So I thought it didn't sound good. But because I'm a fucking layman dummy, I just assumed this motherfucker can't be so stupid that if something was wrong with this, he would be on the biggest fucking program we have in the sport bragging about it. Like, I literally thought because he was doing that, there has to be something that I just don't know that allows him to do that. Surely he's not that stupid. Looking back on it now, knowing what he was actually doing the whole time, woo, boy. James Krause seems like an all right guy, all things considered, hell of a coach. But what a fucking moron. I mean, boy, what in the fuck was you doing? I mean, this is no good, man. This is like, let's be real fucking clear about this. This is well beyond at this point how bad, like, as far as MMA goes and James Krause in 16 months, his name will no longer be uttered in this sport.
Oh no.
But the sad thing is, or the real thing, however you want to put it, that's the least of his worries.
Oh yeah.
James Krause is going to the penitentiary. Now, I don't think he's going for life or no shit. James Krause going to probably go do 3 to 6, 3 to 8. Like, James Krause is going to jail behind this shit. More than, if this is true. Again, everything's still sort of alleged, to your point. But if what they're accusing him of now comes out to be fact, he is fucked. and well
Oh, yeah.
beyond MMA. Like he's going to the fucking federal penitentiary, bro. This is real bad. It just, like something real bad just got even fucking worse.
Way worse. So,
Way worse.
and then on top, this is Jeff Molina quote where he's telling people to sign up for James Cross 1% service because he paid his mortgage, made car payments, and all stuff because the game, through gambling. Like they got themselves caught. Like they did dumb. Like they got themselves caught. Like we've seen many people, dude. Okay, before gaming was legalized everywhere, like it is now. Like people were doing it offshore, just like the James Cross was doing offshore through other countries and all this other shit. But now, like now that it's legal here, they started talking. Some idiots started talking shit, like Jeff, like James Krause and shit, and got themselves caught. Honestly, it's on them. They got caught. They got fucked over. So, like, you reap what you sow, and he's sowing the shit out of it right now, or you're reaping the shit out of it.
Yeah. I just don't again, in hindsight, him bragging about it and talking about it, knowing all the shit that he was actually doing, he had to know that he shouldn't have been doing all that. I think it would be one thing to sort of make bets, and even that, I think there's a bit of a gray line on where, like, all right, you're the fucking Muay Thai coach at a smaller gym in fucking Des Moines, fucking wherever the fuck, like if you guys have had one fighter that's made it to the UFC, is everybody in that little stank ass gym. The lines are sort of gray on exactly like who should be or could be betting. But if you are a ex UFC fighter with 10 fights on your belt, you've got multiple fighters competing in the organization, so on and so forth. Like, I think it goes without saying, bro, you ain't supposed to be gambling, and you sure as fuck ain't supposed to be taking bets from Americans and placing it in Europe and giving them advice and shit. Again, to be fair, I don't know exactly all the laws either, but all this, I know you're not allowed to do that. I know it's illegal, and I know it's a fucking federal law, and I also know that there's a few things you don't do in this world. There's a few people you don't fuck with. The FBI and Uncle Sam are at the top of that list. Now, Uncle Sam might not be here, but you don't fuck with the FBI either, man. This is not something that anybody is going to want a problem, or nobody's going to come to James Krause's defense in this regard. This is like, this is fucking bad, real bad for him.
This is terrible. All right, this is terrible. Not to mention, like, the fact that it took so long and it was so hard to get like gambling legalized everywhere outside of fucking Vegas. It is a prime example. Anyone that was against it be like, see, we fucking told y'all. So, now they got to deal with that shit too. And it's a black eye on any sport, honestly, that does that kind of shit. So we'll see what happens here. But James Krause is certainly done, and Jeff Molina for sure done in the UFC. Who knows if he did anything illegal? But I guess we'll find out. But Jeff just helped put James Krause in prison. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
I don't have like an article on it or anything like that. The only people covering the shit and actually like writing articles on it are kind of, fucking, how do I put it? Like rags. But do you see that blow up about Conor McGregor's likes on Twitter?
I have heard about this, but I don't know. I don't mean to seem pretentious or no shit, but I for one don't be looking at let me tell you something. I'm no C-Mac, but y'all better stay off my likes. My likes ain't nothing nice. I ain't nothing nice on Twitter. They show pussy on Twitter, baby. Tits and pussy. They show motherfucking goddamn it full-on porn. Y'all better stay out that man's likes. But since we're here, what did they find? What did we find in Mr. Conor McGregor's likes on Twitter?
Likes on a bunch of gay porn.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? If we're going to have a serious conversation about this,
I don't know how we do that.
One look, and again, I bet you motherfuckers be like, man, I can't stand this for him, motherfucker. He always be taking up for Dana. We know he about to take up for Conor, but you got to imagine if Conor is what do they call him, a closeted homosexual or bisexual. If he likes men, and it's clearly not out in the open, he hasn't came out and said it. So if it's a secret, one could imagine he's not on Twitter liking. He knows that you can see his likes, right? Like, I mean, he's not new to Twitter. So I don't want to say he was hacked, but we didn't discover that Conor McGregor is secretly fucking homosexual. He's either A, fucking with all you dummies. They were like, oh my God, Conor McGregor liked the cocksucking video, and it was a guy. Or he got fucking hacked, and somebody's also tricking y'all with some gay. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, surely if Conor was trying to be gay on the low, liking a fucking bunch of videos on Twitters about the about the worst way you can possibly go about it, you might as well just hit a gay club in fucking LA.
Jesus, dude.
I don't know. I think he's either fucking with them or he got hacked. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck if Conor's gay or bi. Bro, we are at a point in time now. I literally, for real, like, short of fucking kids and animals, I don't give a fuck what you like sexually. Boys, girls, fucking transformers, furries, I look, even do a dog. I don't care. Let that little dog lick that peanut butter off your snatch gland. I don't give a fuck, you nasty kinky broads. I don't give a fuck what nobody does. But I don't assume he's actually secretly gay. Just gonna go out on a limb and fucking say that.
Yeah. I don't care. I don't care whether he is or not. I really honestly don't care. Well, here's the thing. SJ goes, he could have accidentally liked it.
I mean, how many was it though? Was it?
I don't know.
Listen,
when I heard all I saw, I saw one example that's being put on a meme. So could it be accidental? Sure. Could you imagine that? Like, you're scrolling through, like, oh shit, you like trying to scroll past and you hit like by accident, like, and then everyone sees it.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie, shit like that, boy, y'all better be glad Daddy Fred ain't famous. That'd feed my ego. If I accidentally like some shit on Twitter and it makes y'all fuck around and make you a few hundred bands off circulating the story, I'll be like, boy, I'm a powerful motherfucker. Boy, I tweet a picture of my dick all the time. Just to spice things up on Twitter.
Dude, you were about to do that shit if somebody.
Oh, I did do that shit.
You did
I
that shit.
Delete it. Yeah. It was after Conor knocked out a Cowboy or somebody. Oh, y'all foolishness.
It was somebody else. You were like, when he does that, I'm fucking doing. And it was funny
because I was gonna tweet a picture of my dick from the suck, and I did.
I remember
got
you
nice
did
and
that
hard
shit.
And tweeted a picture of my hard hog. I lost about 1,000 followers, I think, or 300. A bunch of closed-minded sissies, probably a bunch of homophobes.
Was that your old account that got hacked?
Yeah. That was the old account. Because I had like 5,000 followers on that one.
Real quick, Alex Behunin reporting that Colby Covington's in Vegas, and he was supposed to be in Priscilla Cachoeira's corner tomorrow, except she didn't fight no more because Sijara Eubanks didn't even weigh in today. So there goes that. But Colby's in Vegas, so that'd be nice to see him and maybe find out if he's going to fight or not. But that's, Alex Behunin reporting that shit. All right. That's kind of all we got tonight, I think.
Is that it?
I think that's all we got tonight. That's all we had planned on. One championship's on right now. One fight night. Super Bombers Alazov is on, and then what else is on? Obviously, UFC Vegas tomorrow night. I'm trying to think of any kind of like fun shit that happened so far.
I think I'm about to try to get that, man. I seen the preview for this latest one event, the fucking Muay Thai and the kickboxing and the MMA, and I think
it's on right now. I think.
Shit. Yeah. I don't have. It's on Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah, if you have Amazon Prime, you can get it.
Yeah, I don't have Amazon Prime yet, but my bitch wants to watch a show on there. She's been yapping about it anyway, so I'm thinking I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I always did like the J MMA scene. It's sort of a little bit of a. Oh, you know what? Look, we'll go here soon, anyways. But since we don't got much else to talk about, I was thinking about this, man. And this is I was talking about it last week, I think, or the week before, whatever. But real question. A lot of people throw out that the UFC is a monopoly. I was on here last week or the week before, sort of making the argument that, well, how does that, like, if I sell hamburgers and y'all keep opening up stores to rival me with hamburgers, but y'all shit don't do good, so I buy y'all shop. How do you become a monopoly and not just a hella successful business? Like, what is the actual definition? I think a lot of people just like, oh, the UFC monopoly because no other bit, but like, it's not my fault if I run my business so well that none of y'all can compete with me. Like that, surely y'all aren't saying it's illegal for me to be so good that I squash this company and then I buy them to ain't that what everybody does in business?
Right. So Here's a couple definitions, and one of them is more complicated than the other. So here's a complicated one. The exclusive possession of or control of the supply of or trade in a commodity or service. But simple terms, there's monopoly is a situation where there is a single seller in the market. In conventional economic analysis, the monopoly case is taken as a polar opposite of perfect competition. So basically, like the only game in town, but they control it, like on purpose.
Right. So okay. So by that definition, though, the UFC will never be a monopoly, right? Because
It should.
the the UFC can never prevent you from starting in it. Like, yo, if Bellator and the PFL went on sale tomorrow, and the UFC was like, yo, we Big Bank Hank, this is what we do. We buying y'all, we taking all those fighters. They wouldn't then be like, and check this out. If any of y'all punk motherfuckers try to do this again, we'll sue you. Like, they just gonna be like, love it. Who's next? Do it, please. Open up some shit, grow some shit, and we'll buy y'all. This how, but like, so how would the UFC be a monopoly then? How would they somehow they would have to prevent you from being able to start an MMA they ain't the fuck. People should shut the fuck up then. They're not a monopoly and they're never gonna how would they even do that by law? How would they prevent anybody? They can't. And it says something about like supplying everything. So they can't control all the fighters and athletes on earth. They're never gonna be able to say we're the only one. Like if Bellator can go out and poach somebody like Aaron Pico, then by that definition, the UFC is not a monopoly at all. Like the fuck, that never will be.
And it's not going to be like and Santiago says it pretty clearly here. It's not a monopoly. There are other organizations. If being the best is a monopoly, then it is a monopoly.
Well, right. I mean, but McDonald's is the best fast food chain in the world by a country mile. But like, you could still open up Wendy's.
Right. Like, as she says, I don't look at the UFC as a monopoly. It's just a successful business from my view. Look, that's exactly it. So I mean, like, I think people at this point just like find something. They got to find something that they don't like about it, and that's okay. Honestly, it's cool. Like if you really don't like the UFC, if you don't like Bellator, if you don't like people complain about UFC because of fucking everything, right? People complain about Bellator because of tape delays. People complain about one championship because of when their events go live. Like people complain about everything. There's always gonna be something to fucking bitch about, right? And it's just how loud it ends up being. But when you talk about the UFC, man, that amplifies anything you're saying. So
yeah. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, yo, what? Like, surely you ain't. We ain't holding against you how good of a business you are. Like that can't be illegal. What the fuck?
Right. Brando says, "Rest in peace, ONE FC Victoria Lee."
What happened to her? Does anybody know? I never could find out. She was 18, right? Like,
yeah. The family's not releasing the cause.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
So
I would never even really want to be nosy in those situations, but because she's 18, I'm very curious. I wonder what happened. Surely, I mean, she's an athlete. She's 18. Like, it could have been a pre, I don't know, could have been some sort of physical condition, but like, I'm sort of curious. But regardless, rest in peace. That fucking sucks real bad. 18. I swear, such a I don't know, stupid thing to say, but I swear to God, that makes me not believe in God. Shit like that, just sort of, I don't know. I can't find the meaning in it. Sorry. Like I don't, it's like, oh, God works mysterious ways and blah, blah, blah. Man, tell that to that girl's mom, man, or her sister, or I got my daughter 16. 2 years from now, I don't give a fuck what it is. Random heart attack, getting struck by lightning. If my baby gets taken at 18, well, I'll tell y'all right now, God forbid my baby gets taken at 18. Don't say nothing about no God to me. I will fucking knock you out. Yep. You better save that shit for your church. Don't come talking to me about it's gonna be all right and God. No. Don't tell me none of that. I don't want to hear none of that.
Now, people have told me that it's God's plan shit before when something happened. And I'm kind of like, you got to get the fuck away from me right now.
Yeah. And I mean, a good friend of mine passed away a few weeks ago. A cat I grew up with. I don't want to hear that at his funeral.
For real.
God forbid something happened to one of my babies, my 18-year-old baby. You got to keep that to yourself. That'll get you fucking thunderstruck. What the fuck? Don't. And I get that people are just trying to like be nice or what I mean, but you got to bro. I don't. there's just no need. There's no. I really just could not imagine anything worse. I genuinely cannot imagine anything worse than losing. I mean, losing a kid at any age, but 18 almost just seems like the worst because it's like they've just gotten old enough to where you're equipped with the idea that you're going to be you've seen them just like I could not fathom it, man. I couldn't.
It's every parent's nightmare. That's the shit.
Literally.
That's the shit that wakes me up at 2 a.m. It's nightmares like that. And you wake up like, oh, and I literally get up and I go check all my kids' rooms, make sure everyone's good because it fucking trips me out.
I think that's the only thing that can break me.
Right.
Like that's right. I love my woman, but God forbid something happens to us, I'll get over it. My baby's mama and me just went through a split. Shit is hard, but I'll get over everything. God, the universe, whatever you are, you take one of my babies. That's just something I will never fucking recover. I can handle anything else. I'll figure it the fuck out. But that's the one thing that I just don't think you get a pass in my book. Yeah. You lose a kid after that, all bets are off. You get sort of you probably shouldn't do whatever you want, but I ain't gonna hold nothing against you forever, not giving a fuck about anything ever again. It's just I can understand, man.
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, dude. I can't even imagine what the family's going through. And there's a lot of people out there putting bullshit out there as a cause of death. And all I can say about those motherfuckers is fuck y'all. You have no idea what the cause of death was. Don't be putting bullshit out there just to push your whatever idea you think that you connect politically. Like it's just stupid. Anyway, all right. We got nothing else. UFC Vegas 67. Yeah, 67 tomorrow night. 67, dude. How many Apex fucking shows have been done? That's a lot.
COVID changed the game, man. COVID changed the game. Changed the world.
Yeah. Although I think there's a UFC. There's a couple more Vegas shows. I know February 4th, February 18th. I'll be back here on the 18th to cover Sanhagen and Cheeto, so that's gonna be dope. And then they go off to UFC San Antonio in March. So
is there anything else happening this weekend? Is there any big boxing matches? What's the biggest fight this weekend?
Probably Strickland. Fucking probably Strickland. Maybe this one championship card might be the one.
Yeah, well, I heard
fight's gonna be good.
Yeah. I heard that in Muay Thai or kickboxing, wherever that bout is taking place, I heard that's like those are like number 1 and 2 pound for pound. That's why I was like, man, I need to maybe. I find Bellator a little boring to me, just personally. I'm a little bored with Bellator at the moment. So I think I might head over to one. I've been hearing interesting things about them. I like sort of that they're adding in different bouts. Like I have the UFC and they're already running a lot of fucking shows, but I do sort of want something else. I think I might go check one out, man.
Yeah, so we have tonight. It's one on Prime 6, one fight night on Prime. It's going on right now, and then LFA starts in about. Actually, I should have started like a half hour ago. So there's LFA and there's one on Prime. That's tonight. Tomorrow, UFC Vegas 67, and then Invicta as well. No, Invicta's next week. So and then that stupid ass KSI, whatever the fuck. He's fighting. He's boxing some YouTuber motherfucker. I don't know who it is, but and I'm not even making fun of it. I legit don't know who the other guy. Right. So I thought he was gonna box Dylan Dennis, and Dennis bitched out. So is what it is. One more comment here before we go. One of my brothers died at 12 from brain cancer. My mom never recovered from that. I don't think you can. There's no recovery shit like that, especially something like that.
Yeah,
like,
damn. Yeah. It's I swear to God. I mean, again, such a weird thing to say, but like I swear shit like that's why I'm like, man, probably ain't no God. There ain't no rhyme or reading some of this shit. Hug your loved ones, count your blessings, and you know, for all those people, like I just genuinely fucking nothing to say.
Yeah, and you know, and yeah, sorry about your loss there, issue. That fucking sucks, man. I know it was a while ago, but still, it fucking blows. All right, we got. Wow, I need to speak again. If you haven't heard, UFC Vegas 67 tomorrow night. I'll be in the spot, bringing you all the coverage from the UFC Apex. We have plenty of stuff up on cageside.press.com. On Cageside Press YouTube, we have media day interviews. The Dana White statements right here. You got Kopylov, Jackson, Strickland, Imavov, Pennington, Barcelos, Nurmagomedov, Soriano, Dan Ige, Ketlin Vieira. Dylan Rush, news member of Cageside Press with Terrence McKinney, and I can't say the homeboy's name, Charalampos Gregorio. I don't know how to say it, but they call him Pampos. If you missed the face-offs, we have a highlight video. If you missed the weigh-ins, we have a highlight video. We got all kinds of shit over here. on cagepress.com and Cageside YouTube. Make sure you guys hit that shit up. We can keep doing it big for y'all. And real quick. When SE used to be free on YouTube here in Uruguay, not anymore. Yeah, they moved over to Amazon. And then this universe is unpredictable. Give love to those who you hold close. Much love, gents. Appreciate you, Brando. 100%.
You too, brother. For sure. Appreciate
you.
All
right, y'all. That's going to be it for us tonight. Again, cagepress.com all weekend long for all the kinds of coverage, every fucking day for crying out loud. We're on this shit all the time. cagepress.com at keyboard and made for the show at GMC for Fred. I'm at Eli32. Shout out to everyone who tunes in. Shout out to Cageside Press. Shout out to my whole team. We will catch you guys next week. Good night and good night, Wilshire.